Hi guys, Ben from Photography here, and you do not need thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment to take beautiful and amazing portraits. So I picked up this Canon 100D and 50mm 1.8 STM lens off of eBay for $200 US, and today I'm going to show you the photo shoot that I did with this camera, just to show you a little bit of the potential that this camera has and what you can expect once you understand lighting techniques, how to use your camera equipment, what you can expect to get out of this camera. So this is going to be a pretty short video compared to my normal videos. This is the photo that we're going to look at today from the photo shoot. I did an aperture of 1.8, a shutter speed of 1/640th of a second, and an ISO of 200. And because I was using the 100D, which has an APS-C sensor, the 50mm lens then is changed into a 70-ish mm lens because of the crop factor of this sensor. So it's a really nice focal length for portraits. Let's talk about the lighting in this scene. So basically we're doing a natural light photo shoot here. I'm using the sun as a backlight for our model here. As you can see, a bit of glowing light on the back of her hair there. And the way that we got this effect is we shot just a couple of hours before it went dark, so the sun was super low down and produced a really nice golden backlight to this image. So now that we've talked about the camera specifications and the lighting, I'm just going to jump straight into Photoshop and we're going to edit this image. And while we're editing the image, I'm just going to talk about how you can make the most out of your cheap camera and get really fantastic images. So the first thing you want to do with your camera when you just get it is you want to change the file format from JPEG into RAW. Now RAW is a file format kind of like JPEG, except you've got all the uncompressed data from the sensor in this file. So basically what that means is when you put it into Photoshop or into Lightroom, you get a lot more flexibility with your editing because you have so much more information still left in the file. Whereas with JPEG, basically what's happened is the camera has sort of edited the image itself and discarded any of the information that you can't actually see in the image. So what I mean by that is when you get a RAW file, your camera can actually see a lot more detail than your eye can or that your monitor can display. So when you're bringing up the shadows or you're bumping up the exposure or something like that, there's still detail left in those areas that you and your monitor can't see. Whereas if you're shooting in the JPEG file format, all of that information is actually discarded straight away and you're just left with the image and the data that you, as in your eye, and also your monitor can see. So shooting in RAW really gives you a lot more flexibility in post to change some of the settings that you may have got wrong or just boost some of the parts of the image that you weren't able to capture, such as increasing the shadows so you can see detail in there, or dropping the highlights so that you can recover detail from the really bright areas. So the next thing to think about when you're shooting portraits in particular is your lighting arrangement. So basically the best time to take portraits is either really early in the morning, just 15 minutes after the sun has started rising, or really late in the evening when it's about 15 minutes away from the sun setting at night. And the reason for that is the higher that the sun is in the sky, the harsher the highlights and shadows are going to be in your scene. And the lower that the sun is in the sky, the warmer and more beautiful the light is going to be from it. So if you're shooting natural light portraits in particular, you want to wait until the sun is either really low in the sky or whether the sun has just come out from daybreak. And finally, the last thing that you can do to really improve your portraits is improving the things that are actually in your scene. So taking a little bit of time before you do a photo shoot and just planning out costumes, planning out what your model is going to do, where she's going to sit, the poses that she's going to do, and all those sorts of things. So especially what I think is really important is getting a really nice outfit for your model and also explaining to your model what exactly you're going for in a shoot. So in this shoot we were going for sort of a summery looking feel. So we got my model here, Claudia, in a summery dress. We got her into a field. We made sure that the light in the back was really nice and warm, and if we hadn't have planned all of that, if I hadn't have said to her, look, I'd really like you to wear a summery dress for this, she could have turned up in jeans, she could have turned up in a tight dress like for going out clubbing or something like that. Who knows what she would have turned up in. And basically that, I think, would have really ruined this photo shoot. It would have ruined the aesthetic of this photo shoot. So being transparent with your model, making sure you're both on the same page, making sure you both know exactly what you're going for in a photo shoot, I think is really important. So I really hoped you enjoyed watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did. I'm going to be producing a lot more content like this in the future. I've also left a RAW file in the description, so if you would like to go in and do your own edit, feel free to do so. That would be fantastic. And also leave in the comments a link to your edit as well. I'd love to see what you come up with as well from this image. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.